You have been staring at that scale for weeks. You have tracked every single calorie. You have skipped the social outings. And finally, the number dropped. 10 pounds, 15 pounds. You should be celebrating. But when you look in the mirror, something is wrong. You look smaller. Yes, but you look softer. Your clothes fit differently, but your reflection looks like it is melting. This is the skinny fat paradox, and it is the most frustrating place to be in your fitness journey. You are losing weight, but you are not losing the right kind of weight. I am Zara. I am a health and fitness medical researcher and a behavioral weight loss analyst. I spend my days digging through clinical trials and metabolic data to understand why smart, motivated people fail to get the bodies they want despite following the rules. I am not here to sell you a magic pill or a 6-week challenge. I am here to tell you the truth about why your body is fighting you. You think you are losing fat, but your biology has other plans. Your body is an ancient survival machine. It does not care about your aesthetic goals or how you look at the beach. When you slash your calories without a specific strategy, your body views it as a famine. It looks at your metabolically expensive muscle tissue and sees an unnecessary luxury. It looks at your fat stores and sees a life insurance policy. So it makes a choice. It decides to burn your muscle for fuel while clinging to every ounce of fat. You are literally shrinking your engine while keeping the heavy cargo. This is not just bad luck. It is a biological betrayal. You are working against a system that is designed to keep you soft and cushioned for a winter that is never coming. If you do not understand the mechanics of body composition versus simple weight loss, you will continue to chase a number on the scale while losing the very shape and strength you desire. Most people call this a plateau, but it is actually a metabolic restructuring that is working against you. Let us look at the science of why this happens. When you slash your calories to near starvation levels while simultaneously forcing yourself through hours of steady-state cardio, you are not just working hard, you are sending a loud and clear signal to your hypothalamus that you are in a survival crisis. Your brain does not understand that you are trying to fit into a smaller pair of jeans. It interprets this environment as a famine, combined with the need to travel long distances to find food. In this state, your body prioritizes efficiency above all else. Muscle tissue is incredibly expensive from a metabolic standpoint. It requires a significant amount of energy just to exist on your frame. When energy is scarce, your body views muscle as a luxury it cannot afford. It is the equivalent of trying to keep a high-performance, gas-guzzling engine running during a global fuel shortage. Your biology will choose to break down that muscle and use it for fuel while simultaneously lowering your overall metabolic rate to ensure you do not starve. This is the great irony of the traditional weight loss approach. You believe that more cardio and less food will lead to a better physique. However, by over-relying on steady-state movement in a deep caloric deficit, you are essentially training your body to become a fuel-efficient hybrid. You are teaching your system to survive on as little energy as possible. This is why your progress stalls. This is why you feel cold, irritable, and physically weak. Your body is not broken. It is doing exactly what it was designed to do for thousands of years. It is protecting you from what it perceives as a life-threatening shortage of resources. You are fighting against a survival mechanism that is far more powerful than your willpower. When you treat your body like an enemy to be conquered through deprivation, it will respond by shutting down the very processes that create the lean, muscular look you are chasing. You are not just losing weight, you are losing the metabolic machinery that allows you to maintain your health in the long term. I am Zara, and you need to understand that your body does not care about your aesthetic goals. It cares about surviving the next famine. From an evolutionary perspective, muscle is a luxury. It is a high-maintenance asset that demands a massive amount of energy just to exist at rest. Think of muscle tissue like a high-performance engine that stays idling even when the car is parked. It burns through fuel constantly. On the other hand, fat is the ultimate survival tool. It is a low-maintenance, high-density energy reserve. It costs almost nothing to keep on your frame, but it provides a massive insurance policy against starvation. When you push your body into an extreme caloric deficit, you are sending a signal of distress. Your biology interprets this as a period of scarcity. It looks at your expensive muscle tissue and sees a liability. It decides that it can no longer afford the metabolic tax of maintaining that lean mass. This is where the medical reality of gluconeogenesis becomes your biggest obstacle. Your brain and your red blood cells require glucose to function. If you are not eating enough and your glycogen stores are depleted, your body must find that glucose elsewhere. It does not just melt away your body fat to save the day. Fat is slow to mobilize and cannot be converted directly into glucose in meaningful amounts. Instead, your body begins a process of harvesting. It breaks down the proteins in your muscle tissue into amino acids. These amino acids are transported to the liver, where they are converted into the sugar your brain demands. You are literally consuming your own functional tissue to keep the lights on. This is why you feel weak, cold, and lethargic when you follow those crash diets. You are not just losing weight, you are cannibalizing the very engine that drives your metabolism. You are trading your long-term metabolic health for a smaller number on a scale. You must understand that your body will always choose survival over your desire for a six-pack. If you do not provide the proper stimulus and nutrition, your muscle is the first thing on the chopping block. I am Zara, and we must look at the mechanism behind this loss. This is where the hormonal sabotage begins. When you push your body into a state of chronic stress through extreme calorie deficits or overtraining, you trigger a massive release of cortisol. Cortisol is often called the stress hormone, but in the context of your physique, it is the ultimate antagonist. It does not care about your aesthetic goals. It only cares about keeping you alive during a perceived famine. When cortisol levels remain elevated, your body enters a catabolic state. This means it is actively breaking down complex molecules into smaller ones for energy. Specifically, cortisol inhibits muscle protein synthesis by interfering with the leucine signaling pathway. It literally stops the building and repair process of your muscle tissue. Even worse, it increases the rate of protein degradation. Your body begins to mobilize amino acids from your muscles to convert them into glucose through a process called gluconeogenesis. You are effectively eating your own muscle tissue to fuel your stress response. While your muscle is wasting away, cortisol is doing something even more sinister with your fat stores. It promotes the storage of visceral fat, which is the dangerous fat that surrounds your internal organs. This happens because your body is preparing for a long-term crisis. It views muscle as an expensive luxury that requires too many calories to maintain. It views fat as a vital energy reserve for survival. This is why you can lose weight on the scale while actually looking worse in the mirror. You are becoming softer and weaker because your internal chemistry is working against you. You cannot outwork a hormonal environment that is programmed to protect you from yourself. If you do not manage your stress and your recovery, you are not just losing fat, you are systematically dismantling your metabolic engine. Your body is choosing short-term survival over your long-term physical composition every single time. You must understand that you are not just fighting calories. You are fighting a biological system that has been refined over millions of years to prioritize staying alive over looking lean. If you continue to ignore these signals, you will find yourself in a state of metabolic adaptation where your progress stalls and your health declines. I am Zara, and to stop this downward spiral, you must change the signals you are sending to your brain. Your body is currently in survival mode, shedding muscle because it is metabolically expensive to maintain. You need to flip the switch from depletion to preservation. The most powerful tool you have is resistance training. It is not just about aesthetics. Lifting heavy weight sends a loud, clear message to your physiology. This muscle is necessary for survival. When you place a mechanical load on your fibers, you create a biological reason for your body to hold onto that tissue even when energy is scarce. If you do not lift, your body will harvest your muscle for fuel. It is that simple. Next, you must understand the protein leverage hypothesis. Your body has a specific requirement for amino acids to repair tissues and produce enzymes. If you do not meet this protein threshold, your hunger signals will remain active, driving you to overconsume fats and carbohydrates in a desperate search for those missing building blocks. By prioritizing high-quality protein at every meal, you satisfy that biological drive early. This reduces the friction of dieting and protects your lean mass from being broken down. You are no longer fighting your appetite, you are feeding your requirements. Finally, you have to stop the cycle of aggressive crash dieting. When you cut your calories too low too fast, you trigger a massive metabolic slowdown. Your thyroid hormones drop and your non-exercise activity thermogenesis levels plummet. This is a recipe for long-term failure. A slow and steady caloric deficit is the only way to protect your metabolic rate. You are looking for the minimum effective dose of restriction. You want to lose fat while keeping your internal furnace burning as hot as possible. This requires patience, which is exactly what most people lack. But if you want to keep the weight off for good, you must respect the speed of human biology. You cannot rush a process that is designed to protect you from starvation. You have to work with your system, not against it. Working with your system starts with understanding that your muscles are not just for aesthetics, they are your primary metabolic organ. Think of your skeletal muscle as a massive glucose sink. Every time you eat a carbohydrate, your body has to decide where those calories go. In a healthy muscular body, about 80% of that glucose is cleared by your muscles. When you have more muscle mass, you have a larger reservoir to soak up that energy. This is why people with more muscle can eat more without gaining fat. They have built a bigger bucket. If you choose to starve yourself and lose muscle mass, you are shrinking your bucket. This is the root cause of the yo-yo dieting effect. When you lose muscle, your basal metabolic rate drops. Your body becomes incredibly efficient at storing fat because it has nowhere else to put the energy. By maintaining and building muscle, you are improving your insulin sensitivity. You are increasing the density of glucose transporters in your cells. This means your body does not have to pump out massive amounts of insulin just to handle a basic meal. High insulin levels lock the door to your fat stores. By keeping insulin low and sensitivity high, you keep that door open. This state is what we call metabolic flexibility. It is the ultimate goal for anyone who wants permanent results. A metabolically flexible body is a hybrid engine. It can switch seamlessly between burning body fat for fuel when you are at rest and using glucose when you are pushing yourself in the gym. Most chronic dieters have lost this ability. They are stuck in a state where they cannot access their fat stores, so they feel hungry and tired all the time. You must stop viewing exercise as a way to burn calories and start viewing it as a way to upgrade your hardware. When you upgrade your hardware by adding muscle, you prevent the metabolic adaptation that ruins most diets. You are not just losing weight, you are changing the fundamental way your body processes energy. This is how you make fat loss permanent. I am Zara. Let us move from the biology of muscle to the psychology of the self. For too long, you have been taught that weight loss is a form of penance. You have been told that your body is something to be beaten into submission through starvation and endless hours of cardio that you hate. I am here to tell you that this approach is not just ineffective, it is scientifically illiterate. Your body is not your enemy. It is a biological machine that is reacting exactly how it was designed to react to the signals you are sending it. If you send signals of scarcity and stress, your body will hold on to every calorie. If you send signals of strength and abundance, your body will prioritize the tissue that helps you move and survive. This is the shift in philosophy that changes everything. You must stop punishing the body for what it has become and start nourishing the machine for what it can be. This framework is not about a 30-day challenge or a quick fix. It is about a fundamental renegotiation of your relationship with your own biology. We have looked at the data. We have analyzed the metabolic pathways. We know that the traditional model of dieting is broken because it ignores human behavior and physiological adaptation. You now have the tools to build a different path. You understand that muscle is your metabolic currency. You understand that consistency is the only metric that matters in the long term. I want you to take this information and use it as a foundation. Do not look for the easy way out, because the easy way is a lie that leads back to where you started. The journey ahead will be difficult because breaking old patterns is hard work, but it is the most important work you will ever do. You are not just changing your appearance, you are reclaiming your health, your energy, and your future. I am Zara, and I am here to ensure you have the facts to make that future a reality. It is time to stop fighting against yourself and start building the version of you that lasts.